All right, so get ready, because today we're going to do a deep dive into something really, really cool.
Okay.
The science of joy.
Mm.
Not just, your fleeting happiness, like, oh, I just got an ice cream cone, I'm happy.
Right.
But that deeper, more resilient type of joy. And we got this video queued up, and it makes you think, is joy something that you just find out there in the world, or can you just create it within yourself?
Yeah, this video is really cool because it challenges this assumption.
Right.
That joy, it depends on what's happening to you, right? Like, I win the lottery, oh, I'm joyful. But
Totally.
is it possible to be joyful?
Right.
Even when, you're going through some tough times.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical.
Right.
Because it's easy to be joyful when things are going your way.
Exactly.
But when life throws those curveballs,
For sure.
That's when it gets a little harder.
Right. But the video is like, well, what if there's more to it than that? And it uses this example of the cheerful Smurf.
Okay.
And you can probably picture someone like that in your life.
Oh, yeah.
That person who just always radiates joy, no matter what's happening.
Totally. I have a friend like that.
Yeah.
Always so positive, always sees the good side of things. Sometimes I wonder if they're, faking it.
Well, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The video suggests that these cheerful Smurfs aren't just putting on a happy face. They seem to actually have this ability to just generate joy internally.
Interesting.
And it's not that they're ignoring pain or hardship, but they have this way of processing it differently, focusing on the positive.
So they're not, naive or oblivious. They just kind of have a different way of approaching challenges.
Totally.
I can kind of see how that ties into, the whole choosing joy thing.
Exactly. And it's not even about feeling happy all the time.
Right.
The person who made this video talks about how their belief in a better future helps them experience joy, even if they don't feel super enthusiastic in the moment.
So even if things are tough right now, just having that faith that it'll work out gives them a sense of peace.
Yeah. And then it gets even more interesting. So the video describes this conversation with someone who says that the reason why they're cheerful is because they feel this connection to a higher power.
Okay.
And they have this idea that if you spread joy, it's going to attract more support and opportunities.
So it's like the law of attraction. You put out good energy.
Right.
Good energy comes back to you.
Right.
But, how much scientific evidence is there for that?
Yeah, well, the law of attraction is a little outside, traditional science.
Sure.
But there's a lot of research on the power of positive emotions,
Yeah.
Like, for example, we know that people who focus on gratitude, they tend to be happier and healthier.
Interesting.
So maybe there is something to this idea.
Yeah.
That what you put out there can shape your reality.
Yeah, that's cool.
And even if we set aside the whole spiritual part of it, the observation that the video makes about how emotions can impact the people around us.
Yeah.
It's definitely something we all experience.
Totally.
I guess you notice that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like how someone's bad mood can bring everyone down.
For sure.
Or if someone's laughing, they can just lighten things up.
Oh, yeah. Emotions are totally contagious.
Right.
So if you're choosing joy, it's not just benefiting you. It's
exactly.
You're creating this ripple effect of positivity into the world.
Yeah. And this video even suggests that you can do this in tough situations.
All right.
So they have this anecdote about finding joy at a funeral.
Okay, now that's where I'm wait a minute. How can you have joy at a funeral? It just seems disrespectful.
Well, the point is, it's not about denying the grief.
Okay.
It's more about finding those moments of light, of connection, even in those really hard times.
Okay.
So, sharing happy memory of the person who passed away.
Right.
Those moments can bring smiles amidst the tears.
Okay, so it's about acknowledging the whole range of human experience.
Right.
Finding the bright spots, even when things are dark.
Yeah, choosing to see the light even when you're surrounded by darkness.
Yeah.
And the person who finds joy at funerals, they also talk about how important it is to bring humor and joy into everyday situations.
Right.
Like waiting in a long line.
Yeah.
Or you have a stressful deadline at work.
Sure.
Those little acts of lightness and joy can actually make a difference.
Okay, so it's you have to actively choose to find that humor, that positive, that light.
Right.
Even in the mundane, everyday things. Yeah. Okay, now I'm starting to get a sense of what it really means to choose joy.
And then the video ends with this really powerful image. And this is what stuck with me.
Right.
It was like, this person said they want to leave a legacy of joy, even at their own funeral.
Wow. Okay, that's a really powerful thought, because it really drives home the point that joy is something we can cultivate, we can share it, even in the face of, life's biggest challenges.
Totally.
It's a choice
that
you can make every single day.
Every single day.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that choice can have a huge impact.
Yeah.
Not just on your own life, but on everyone around you.
Totally. So it's not just about you, it's about everyone.
Yeah, it's about creating this ripple effect of joy.
Yeah.
That goes out and touches everybody.
You know, what's really hitting me about this whole conversation is we usually think of joy as a reaction to something good.
Right,
You have a promotion, you win the lottery.
Exactly.
And then you feel joyful.
Mm-hmm.
But this video is saying that maybe it can actually be the cause, not just the effect.
Right.
And that's a huge shift in perspective.
It's a really profound shift, yeah.
Yeah.
And it suggests that we have a lot more agency than we think.
Right.
We're not just sitting around waiting for joy to happen.
Right.
We can actually make it happen.
Yes.
We can choose it, we can share it.
And if it really is contagious, like the video says, imagine the impact we could have, a pay it forward kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with good vibes instead of money.
With positive emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this whole idea of joy being a choice.
Yeah.
Even when things are tough.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the research on resilience.
Okay.
I'm sure you faced your own challenges.
Well, for sure.
How have you found, strength and meaning in those times?
Yeah, I think when I've gone through tough times, it's those little moments of joy.
Right.
Those little glimmers of hope that have really kept me going. Yeah. Like choosing to focus on the good, even when it's really hard.
Yeah.
It gives you a kind of inner strength.
It does. And it's not about pretending everything's perfect.
Right.
Or ignoring the challenges.
Right.
It's about finding those sources of strength and hope.
Yeah.
That allow you to keep going.
Right.
To come out the other side stronger.
Yeah, and this ties back into what the video creator was saying about having a belief in a better future.
Yeah.
Like that sense of optimism that things will eventually get better.
Totally.
It can really sustain you.
It can, and it makes you wonder, is this a new idea?
Right.
Is this something that we've just, figured out recently?
Yeah.
Or has this idea of joy as a source of strength been around for a while?
That's a good question.
It's really cool how this idea of joy as a source of strength has been around for a long time.
Oh.
Like in spiritual traditions and philosophy.
Oh, interesting.
For centuries.
Wow.
Think about the idea of finding joy in suffering.
Right.
That's a common theme in a lot of Eastern philosophies.
Yeah.
And again, it's not about denying the pain.
Right.
It's about finding a deeper level of peace, acceptance, even when things are hard.
So it's like science is catching up to what ancient wisdom has known.
Exactly.
All along.
Yeah. And now with the research on happiness, resilience, we're starting to understand the science behind it.
Like how it all works.
Exactly. And the exciting thing is this research has given us tools and strategy to actually cultivate more joy.
All right, so let's get practical. If someone's listening to this and they're thinking, I want more joy, what are some things they can actually do?
Yeah, so remember that idea of bringing humor and joy into everyday situations.
Yeah.
That's a great place to start.
Okay.
So, choosing to laugh at a silly mistake.
Right.
Instead of getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Or finding a way to make a boring chore more fun.
Oh, okay.
Those little things can add up.
So finding the playfulness.
Exactly.
In the everyday. Remembering that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Totally.
Right.
And another great idea from the video is focusing on sharing joy with other people.
Okay.
That saying, the best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer someone else up.
Right.
So it's just a simple act of kindness, a genuine compliment.
Right.
Those things can make someone's day.
Yeah.
And often it boosts your own mood too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
When I do something nice for someone else,
it
always makes me feel good.
Right. It creates this positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
You share joy, it comes back to you.
It's like planting seeds of happiness. that then blossoms all around you.
Exactly. Are there any other simple things we can try?
Yeah, what else?
So cultivating gratitude is huge.
Okay.
Taking time each day to appreciate the good things in your life.
Right.
Even the small things can really change your perspective.
Totally.
And boost your mood.
It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and forget to appreciate the simple joys.
Exactly. And something else that can be really helpful?
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with joyful people.
Oh, right.
Remember the cheerful Smurfs?
Yeah.
Their energy is contagious.
Oh, totally.
When I'm around positive, upbeat people, it lifts my spirits.
Yeah.
It's like their joy rubs off on you.
For sure.
And the opposite's true, too.
Right.
If you're always around negative, cynical people, it can bring you down.
You got to be careful who you hang out with.
So choosing your company wisely is important.
Right.
It can really make a difference in how you see the world.
It's like being mindful of the energy you're surrounding yourself with.
Exactly.
Whether it's people or even the media you consume.
Yeah, for sure.
What about taking care of yourself? Does that play a role?
Absolutely. Self-care is so important.
Okay.
Making time for things that nourish you.
Right.
Your mind, your body, your soul.
Yeah.
It's essential for joy.
Okay.
So whether that's taking a walk in nature, listening to music, spending time with people you love, doing things that bring you joy is not selfish.
Right. Yeah.
It's essential.
It's like filling up your own cup.
Exactly.
So you can then pour from it.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're feeling depleted, burnt out, it's going to be harder to find that joy.
Yeah, you're running on empty.
Right.
Exactly.
And all of this leads to a really important point.
Okay.
Cultivating joy, it's not a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing practice.
Okay.
It's like a muscle.
Yeah.
You got to exercise it.
You got to use it or you lose it.
The more you practice choosing joy, the easier it becomes.
Okay.
And the more joy you experience, the more resilient, the more fulfilling your life becomes.
It's like a virtuous cycle.
It is.
A positive spiral that just lifts you up.
Totally.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's bring this back to you, the listener.
Okay.
We've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We have.
We talked about the cheerful Smurf, the science of resilience, and some tips for cultivating joy. But I'm curious, what's resonating with you? Is there anything that's standing out?
What's really sticking with you?
Yeah. Is there anything that's maybe challenging your assumptions about joy?
What's fascinating to me is this idea that we might have more control over joy than we realize. It's not just about waiting for good things to happen.
Right.
It's about actively choosing to see the good.
Okay.
Cultivating that joyful mindset and then sharing it.
So it's almost like we all have this inner cheerful Smurf.
Yes.
Just waiting to be unleashed.
Exactly. And like any skill, it takes practice.
Yeah.
The more you exercise that joy muscle, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
And the video made this really interesting point about how our own emotions can affect other people.
Right.
Have you ever noticed how your mood can kind of rub off on the people around you?
Oh, totally. Like sometimes you just walk into a room and you can just feel the energy. It shifts. Yeah. Depending on the mood of the people who are already there.
Right. It's like our emotions have this ripple effect.
It's contagious.
Yeah, they spread out and they impact everyone we interact with.
Totally. And that brings up a really important point.
Yeah.
If our joy or our lack of joy can really affect others, then choosing joy isn't just a personal thing.
It's not.
It's like a responsibility.
It is.
It's about recognizing that our individual choices contribute to this collective emotional atmosphere.
It's like we're all connected.
Yeah.
And our emotions are part of that connection.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
It's like we have this ethical obligation to cultivate joy, not just for ourselves, but for the people around us.
For society as a whole.
Exactly.
It's about creating a more joyful world.
Yeah, and it's not about denying the challenges or pretending that everything's perfect.
Right.
It's about recognizing that even when things are tough,
we
can still choose to focus on the good.
Absolutely.
To find those little glimmers of hope and share them with others.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes this whole idea of joy so powerful.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the science of joy, I want to leave you with a final question to think about.
Yeah, I like it.
What if we all made a conscious effort to be a little more like those cheerful Smurfs?
Right.
To cultivate that inner joy,
right,
to share it freely, and to see the positive even when things are tough.
I love it.
How would that change our lives?
Yeah.
How would that change the world around us?
It's inspiring thought.
It is. Just imagine the possibility.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this joyful journey.
Yeah, this is fun.
And until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep on searching for that joy.
See ya. You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
We often think of joy as a reaction.
Right.
Like something good happens, and then you feel joy.
Right. Exactly.
But this video is saying maybe joy can be the cause.
Totally.
Not just the effect.
Yeah, like you choose joy.
Right.
And then good things happen.
It's like a whole different way of looking at it.
It's a really different way of thinking about it. Yeah.
And if joy really is contagious, like the video says,
yeah,
imagine like the impact you could have.
It's huge, right?
It's like paying it forward, but with good vibes.
With positive emotions, yeah.
Exactly. And this idea that joy is a choice, even when things are tough.
Even when things are hard.
It reminds me of all the research on resilience.
It does, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've faced your own challenges in life.
Oh, of course, yeah.
How have you found strength and meaning in those moments?
Well, you know, for me, it's always been about remembering that even in the darkest of times, there's always something to be grateful for.
Okay.
And that even though things might be difficult right now, it doesn't mean they'll always be that way.
So like holding on to that hope.
Holding on to that hope.
But things will eventually get better.
Exactly. And that's what this video is talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's about having that belief that things will work out.
It's like having that inner compass that just keeps pointing you toward the light.
Yeah, even when you're surrounded by darkness.
It makes me wonder if this is like a new idea.
Right.
Or has this concept of joy as a source of strength been around for a while?
You know, it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
This idea of joy as strength has been explored in spiritual and philosophical traditions for centuries.
Wow, really?
Like, for example, think about the idea of finding joy in suffering.
Okay.
It's a common theme in Eastern philosophies.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's not about denying the pain.
Right.
But it's about finding peace and acceptance.
Even when things are hard.
Exactly.
So it's like science is finally catching up to what philosophers and spiritual teachers
like ancient wisdom
been known for a long time.
And now with the research on happiness and resilience, we're starting to understand the science behind it.
Like how it actually works.
Exactly.
And the exciting thing is this research has given us tools.
It is.
Like actual strategies.
It's empowering.
For cultivating more joy in our lives.
Yeah, it's not just this abstract idea anymore.
All right, so let's talk about those tools.
Okay, yeah.
If someone's listening right now.
And they're thinking, I want more joy in my life.
Right.
What can they actually do?
So remember we talked about bringing humor and joy into everyday situations? That's a great place to start.
Okay.
So, you know, choosing to laugh at a silly mistake instead of getting frustrated.
Right.
Finding a way to make a boring chore more fun.
Yeah, okay.
Those little things can really add up.
It's about, like, finding the playfulness.
Exactly.
In everyday life.
Remembering that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Exactly.
And another powerful suggestion from the video is focusing on sharing joy with other people.
Right.
You know that saying, the best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer someone else up.
I've heard that.
So a simple act of kindness, a genuine compliment, it can make someone's day.
Totally.
And often it boosts your own mood as well.
It's true. When I do something nice for someone, it always makes me feel good too.
Right. It creates this positive feedback loop.
You share joy, it comes back to you.
It's like planting seeds of happiness.
Exactly.
That blossom all around you.
Are there any other simple practices we can try?
Yeah. What else? What else can we do?
So cultivating a sense of gratitude is huge.
Okay.
Taking time each day to appreciate the good things in your life.
Yeah.
Even the small things.
Right.
It can really shift your perspective and boost your mood.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle.
Totally.
And forget to appreciate those simple things.
And you know something else that can be really helpful?
What's that?
Surrounding yourself with joyful people.
Right. Like finding your tribe.
Finding your people. Yeah. Remember the cheerful Smurfs? their energy is contagious.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I'm around positive, upbeat people,
yeah,
just lifts my spirits.
it's like their joy rubs off on you.
And the opposite is true, too.
Yeah.
If you're constantly around negative or cynical people,
Yeah, it can bring you down.
that can really drag you down.
You got to be mindful of who you're spending your time with.
So choosing your company wisely,
Yeah.
it's so important for your overall well-being.
It's like being mindful of the energy you're surrounding yourself with.
Exactly. Whether it's people or even the media you consume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It can have a real impact on your own joy.
Okay, so what about self-care?
Self-care is crucial.
Does that play a role?
Absolutely. Making time for activities that nourish you,
Okay.
your mind, body, and soul.
Right.
That's essential for cultivating joy.
Okay.
Whether it's taking a walk in nature, listening to music,
Mm-hmm.
spending time with loved ones,
Yeah.
doing things that bring you joy is not selfish.
Right. It's important.
It's essential for your well-being.
It's like filling up your own cup.
Exactly.
So you can then pour from it.
And it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If you're feeling depleted, burnt out,
Yeah, if you're running on empty.
it's going to be a lot harder to access that joy.
Totally.
And all of this leads to a really important point. Cultivating joy, it's not a one-time event.
Right.
It's an ongoing practice.
It's journey.
And a journey, yeah.
Not a destination.
And it's like a muscle. You got to exercise it.
You got to use it or you lose it.
The more you practice choosing joy,
Mm-hmm.
the easier it becomes.
Mm-hmm. And the more joy you experience,
Yeah.
the more resilient and fulfilling your life becomes.
It's like this beautiful upward spiral
It is.
of positivity and joy.
All right. So with all that in mind,
Yeah.
let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and bring this back to you, the listener.
Right. Yeah.
We've talked about a lot in this deep dive.
We have.
The cheerful smurf, the science of resilience,
Mm-hmm.
all those practical tips.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what's resonating with you?
What's sticking out to you?
Yeah, what's really standing out to you as you listen?
Yeah. Is there anything that's like challenging what you thought you knew about joy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that's maybe surprising you?
You know, for me, I think what's really fascinating is this idea that maybe we have more control over joy
Okay.
than we think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about waiting for good things to happen.
Right.
It's about like actively choosing to see the good,
Right.
cultivating a joyful mindset,
Right.
and then sharing that joy.
Okay, so it's almost like we all have this inner chaffle smurf
Yeah.
just waiting to be unleashed.
Exactly. And like any skill, it takes practice.
Right. You got to work those muscles.
The more we exercise that joy muscle,
Yeah.
the stronger it gets.
The stronger it gets. And the video made this really interesting point about, how much our own emotions can affect other people.
Totally. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like how your mood can subtly influence the people around you.
Like sometimes you just walk into a room
Yeah,
and you can feel the energy shift
totally.
depending on the mood of the people who are already in there.
It's like our emotions create this ripple effect.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Just they spread outward.
Yeah.
And they impact everyone we come into contact with.
And that brings up a really important point.
It does.
If our joy or even our lack of joy can really affect other people,
Right.
then choosing joy isn't just like a personal pursuit.
No.
It's almost like a responsibility.
Yeah, like we have this obligation
To cultivate joy.
to ourselves, to others, to the world.
Exactly.
It's about creating a more joyful world.
And it's not about, denying the challenges or
Right.
pretending that everything's perfect.
Right.
It's about recognizing that even when things are tough,
Yeah, even when things are hard.
we can still choose to focus on the good,
Absolutely.
to find those little glimmers of hope
Those sparks of joy.
and share them with others.
And that's what makes this whole idea so powerful.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the science of joy,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
What if we all tried to be a little more like those cheerful Smurfs?
Yeah, what if we all embrace that inner joy?
To cultivate that inner joy.
To share it freely with the world.
To share it freely, to choose to see the positive, even when things are tough.
Even when things are hard.
How would that change our lives?
Yeah.
How would that change the world around us?
That's an amazing thing to think about.
It is. Imagine the possibilities.
I love it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into joy.
This was fun.
And until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep on searching for that joy.
See you later.
See ya.